Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya Mrityorma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Oh, may the Divine lead us from the unreal to the real, from darkness to light, from death to immortality. Oh, peace, peace, peace.
This song of Samadhi is written by Swami Vivekananda. In this song, Swamiji narrated the experience of Nirvikalpa Samadhi. The last line of the song says, "Beyond speech and mind, whose heart understands, he verily does." Nahi shurjo, nahi jyoti, nahi shurjo, nahi jyoti, nahi shashanko sundaro, nahi shurjo, nahi jyoti, nahi shashanko sundaro, bhashe bhumi chhaya shomo, bhashe bhumi chhaya shomo, ছবি বিশ্ব চরাচর, নাহি সূর্য, নাহি জ্যোতি, অস্ফুট মনাকাশে জগত সংসার ভাসে, অস্ফুট মনাকাশে জগত সংসার ভাসে, উঠে ভাসে ডুবে পূর্ণ, উঠে ভাসে ডুবে পূর্ণ, অহং স্রোতে নিরন্তর, নাহি সূর্য, নাহি জ্যোতি, ধীরে ধীরে ছায়া দল মহালয়ে প্রবেশিল, ধীরে ধীরে ছায়া দল মহালয়ে প্রবেশিল, বহে মাত্র আমি আমি এই ধরার অনুক্ষণ, সে ধারা বদ্ধ
I'm reading from the book Talks with Swami Vivekananda. This episode was recorded in Belur Math, year 1901. Disciple: Sir, at times I am overcome by low spirits. I don't know how. Swamiji: Then think like this. Whose child am I? I associate with him, and shall I have such weak-mindedness and lowness of spirits? Stamping down such weakness of mind and heart, stand up saying, I am possessed of heroism. I am possessed of a steady intellect. I am a knower of Brahman, a man of illumination. Be fully conscious of your dignity by remembering, I am the disciple of such and such, who is the companion in life of Sri Ramakrishna, the conqueror of lust and death. This will produce a good effect. He who has not this pride has no awakening of the Brahman within him. Haven't you heard Ramprashad's song? He used to say, Whom do I fear in the world? Whose sovereign is the Divine Mother? Keep such a pride always awake in the mind. Then weakness of mind and heart will no longer be able to approach you. Never allow weakness to overtake your mind. Remember Mahavira, remember the Divine Mother, and you will see that all weakness, all cowardice will vanish at once. Saying these words, Swamiji came downstairs and took his accustomed seat on a cot in the courtyard. Then addressing the assembled sannyasins and brahmacharis, he said, Here is the unveiled presence of the Brahman. Fie upon those who, disregarding it, set their mind on other things. Ah, here is the Brahman, as palpable as a fruit in one's palm. Don't you see? Here. These words were spoken in such an appealing way that everyone stood motionless like a figure painted on canvas and felt as if he were suddenly drawn into the depth of meditation. After some time, that tension of feeling passed and they regained their normal consciousness. Next, in the course of a walk, Swamiji spoke to the disciple. Did you see how everybody had to become concentrated today? These are all children of Sri Ramakrishna, and on the very uttering of the words, they felt the truth. Disciple: Sir, not to speak of them, even my heart was overflowing with an unearthly bliss, but now it appears like a vanished dream. Swamiji: Everything will come in time. Now, go on working. Set yourself to some work for the good of men, sunk in ignorance and delusion. You will see that such experiences will come of themselves. Yes.
Now, a short period of meditation. Good morning, friends. How to prepare oneself for meditation. We already heard the beauty of meditation, what happens when we go deep into our own consciousness, what a peace, an unearthly peace and bliss that the disciple of Swami Vivekananda was experiencing by the power of Swamiji's giving spirituality with their mere words, with mere wish. He had that power. Of course, he gives all credit to Sri Ramakrishna, that you see the children of Sri Ramakrishna, little I spoke and how they caught, they went deep into meditation. But no doubt it was Sri Ramakrishna's power, and that power came through Swami Vivekananda. And of course, those who were in meditation also were great when they could be in the touch of Swami Vivekananda. In fact, we are also in that way very fortunate. We need to feel ourselves close to this great spiritual mind that is present with us. Swami Vivekananda, Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother, Buddha, Jesus, all are present. Just if we say, oh, it's only pictures, there is no presence, I don't feel, then it's our mistake. If we could stress that yes, they are present very much here, and I can feel the spiritual vibration, and I can feel the greatness, and I can have good meditation with that type of feeling. We can also go deep into our own consciousness and find the bliss that is present, inherent in our hearts. So how to have that sort of feeling, that I little like to talk with you. My talk is based on the great book, Meditation and Spiritual Practice by Swami Yatishwarananda. So meditation and concentration, what is the difference? Meditation is sort of concentration. We often find so much concentrated, fully focused on when we read a novel or listen to music or just see a movie, we forget everything and we are totally concentrated on the thing. Or even we solve the problems in studies, solving the mathematical problem, forget the whole world, forget the food. You are totally focused, absorbed in the problem. It is concentration. But what is the difference between concentrating on a particular subject and meditation? We are asked to concentrate on some divine idea, on some divine form, on some divinity. Is there any difference between these two types of concentration? Yes, there is. Meditation is not an ordinary concentration. It is concentration on a spiritual idea. And this meditation is attained through a long practice of concentration done at a particular center of consciousness. So here we don't have any worldly objects, neither book nor movie nor novel that goes through our mind, nor a mathematical problem. But here is our own spiritual center of consciousness that we have to focus. And there we need to practice for a long time, many years perhaps, and then slowly we gain the power to focus and put our mind there for a longer time. We know meditation is very beneficial. It can benefit us to realize our own true self. That is called God realization. It's highest benefit of meditation. But before we attain to that state, meditation, and even a little of meditation, helps us to become more calm, composed. We become our own true self in our everyday dealing. We feel that peace. We just heard how Swami Vivekananda created that ambience for a few minutes, and how people he described he was having unearthly peace. That is the bliss. That little taste could be found even in a short duration of few minutes. So if we can have meditation, real true meditation, the peace is the first thing we find. And that peace that we find during the time of meditation doesn't end when we go for work. It just continues. It continues, that peace somehow in our dealing, in our thought, in our words, that peace just emanates. That peace emanates in our everything that we do, in our behavior. So this power, this influence, the meditation done at the corner of a room can have in our whole day project if it is deep and good. we ourselves can taste that. So, and there are other health issues that are, they say, is good. You have good sleep, you feel light and healthy, a little of disturbance doesn't bother you, little of pain and disease doesn't bother you so much. After you have good meditation, you can just set them aside. Oh, those are okay, they will come and go. This type of strength comes with the power of meditation. We go, because we go deep into our own selves, and our true self is untouched by these disturbances of life, existential problem. They are all in the two dimensions of this time, space and causation. And in meditation, we want to touch our true nature, which is beyond time, beyond space, beyond causation, which is uncaused, true, real self, which is Sat Chit Ananda. That we go, and we have a glimpse, even in a short period of time, when we try to meditate on any divine form. It is our own self, own Atma that we project outside, and we assume those qualities that divine self is one and beyond this time, space and causation. And when we try to meditate, we actually focus on our true self, and that has its impact in ourselves. Then this having true meditation, it seems so easy. You go deep and just negate everything, forget everything. You go deeper and deeper and you forget that your surrounding, you forget your body, you forget where are you sitting. You just become focused, absorbed in the object of meditation, which may be a divine form, which may be a divine idea, which may be just an idea like universal love or universal your brotherhood or anything like that, or one with the feeling oneness with existence, oneness with creation, whatever can be the idea. It has to be a spiritual idea that you are one with divine. So if we have that little meditation, so it's wonderful, you can understand, but it is not easy thing. It needs long practice, and but this is achievable by everyone. And the beauty of practice of meditation is, even before we reach the ultimate of meditation, we start having its fruit step by step. One step we go and say, it's wonderful. More steps, we feel change, we feel better in everything. But having true meditation is not easy. What we say just now is, I said that let us have a short period of meditation. That was not really meditation. We cannot have meditation in just 2 minutes. Only Swami Vivekananda can give meditation in 2 minutes. For us, 2 minutes is like playing meditation, dhyan khela. When Swami Vivekananda, Narendranath was a small boy, he used to play with his mates, with his friends, let us play meditation. And they all sit, close their eyes, and what they would think they don't know, but all were in the same position, sitting on the ground quietly. They were playing meditation. Suddenly a snake comes, cobra, and all they saw snake coming, all they fled away. One person didn't go away. Though poisonous snake was in the room, and it was Swami Vivekananda. Why didn't go away? Because he was having meditation. Others were playing meditation. Playing meditation is not real meditation. Our meditation that we try to do it, in fact we try. It's the first step. It's not good meditation. We don't forget everything. We're full of ego. The divine age have to come. We have yet to have that connection. But that playing is the first step. We start from there. So having meditation is different from playing meditation. Dhyan khela. So when we have true meditation, we really find the difference. And meditation is like putting our mind. What we try to do when we have this 2-minute meditation or 5-minute meditation, or even we sit for japam and dhyanam for half an hour or 15 minutes, is we are practicing not real true meditation, but the first steps of meditation, which is called pratyahara. The meditation has 4 steps of mental concentration on divine. The first step is called pratyahara. What is pratyahara? Pratyahara is you bring back your mind to the object of meditation. You sit down and have some form, some light, some form in your heart, you start thinking, and mind within seconds goes to something else. You become aware, and when you become aware, you bring that mind back to the object of meditation. This process goes on. That is called pratyahara. When your mind you bring back to the object of meditation, it is called pratyahara. We did pratyahara once, you have to do many times pratyahara. In fact, doing pratyahara or whole 15 minutes or half an hour goes in practicing pratyahara alone. So when the pratyahara will become next step of meditation called dharana. Dharana is when they say, when we can put our mind on an object of meditation for 12 seconds. Only 12 seconds, if you could put, it becomes the next step of meditation called dharana. Meditation has not yet come. Dhyana has not yet come. Dharana itself is 12 seconds itself is very glorified, very rewarding experience. But unfortunately, we ever cannot go beyond less than 12 seconds, like 1 second or 2 seconds you can put and then mind goes away. Mind has that type of mind. It is not the fault of your mind. Everyone's mind in the beginning is like that. It's like Swami Vivekananda will tell what the mind is. So let me describe first about this as this 4 steps of meditation before samadhi and then I'll show you. So 12 seconds if you can put, it becomes dharana. So we put, and after dharana is done, then mind goes away, then you bring pratyahara. So dharana and pratyahara have to go together, you see. The dharana is there, you try to put it, if it is even 12 seconds, then after it can again go away, longer time you are putting it, and again you do pratyahara. Dharana, trying to do dharana, then pratyahara, mind goes away. So this goes on. So after that, if dharana is for longer time, how long? So 12 times of one dharana. 12 into 12 seconds. That's almost 2.5 minutes. That's almost 2.5 minutes, 144 seconds. Then it becomes dhyana. Seems very easy. 2.5 minutes putting mind on an object, it becomes meditation. Yes, it becomes meditation. But it is extremely, extremely difficult. If we try, we can understand how difficult, how the mind goes. But if we practice this dharana and pratyahara together, itself is a process of meditation and we feel the reward of meditation in that. And what is then samadhi? Samadhi is longer time of dhyana. So after 2.5 minutes, you don't just let it go, mind doesn't go. You still keep the mind in the object of meditation, it's thinking, mind is totally focused there. And when meditation has come, mind, how long it will take to samadhi? It's a 12 of that. Dhyana is, if you 12 times of dhyana you can do, it becomes samadhi. How much it becomes? 12 into 12 into 12 seconds. Almost about half an hour. It becomes samadhi. So when meditation happens, when this dharana is there, we have to practice pratyahara. And this dharana continues going on together. But when meditation will become adapted meditation, then the practice is less. We have already started putting our mind 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Then there is an inclination of mind to sit in meditation. We enjoy meditation. Meditation doesn't have to be practiced, it becomes meditation. Just mind flows. The condition of the mind in meditation is described like pouring oil from one vessel to another vessel. Like continuous flow of mind to one place. No gap in between. There is no gap. That's why they say oil. They don't say water. Water might have gap of bubbles at the end. But oil flows, continuous flow. Meditation is also a continuous flow of mind to the object of meditation. They say it becomes effortless when we have practiced and have become we have adapted in meditation. It becomes effortless. You sit for meditation, few minutes you may try to focus your mind, then mind automatically flows to the object of meditation. But it has to come through practice. Important. So, what are the different steps of meditation? First is we can meditate on physical form. You see, physical form. Like divine form of our Ishta, the chosen ideal. It may be Sri Ramakrishna, Sri Krishna, Kali, Jesus, or any form that you feel divinity is there. It manifests all divine qualities. Such type of personality is called Ishta or chosen ideal. Then after that, when we have matured in having the meditation on the form, then we can go another step. What is another step? It is trying to meditate on the heart of the Divine Personality, on the mind of the Divine Personality. What he or she would think, what she or she would feel, how was her mind made. So it will be subtler meditation than meditating on the form. Then after that, we can identify the Divine Personality with the pure consciousness, even beyond the feeling and the thinking of that personality. Pure consciousness, that is Satchidananda. We can feel that. And when we can go up to that level, deep level of meditation, then it may happen that we ourselves get merged in that pure consciousness. Then form disappears, thought disappears, mind disappears, then we become merged in that consciousness. What is that? Example given by Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna gives the example often you read in the Gospel, that one saw a dog wanted to measure the depth of ocean, how deep the ocean would be. So how will she measure? Not with the measuring tape or any scientific method. She wanted to, the short dog, it wanted to go into the ocean and dive deep and find out how deep is the ocean. So it went there, went into the ocean, and before it reached the bottom, it was melted completely. That is what meditation will be. When we start meditating on the pure consciousness, our consciousness will merge in the object of meditation. Then it is called Triputi Laya. Three things become one, they all merge together. What are the three things in meditation? There are the three things of meditation. It's called Dhyana, Theya and Dhyata. Meditator, object of meditation and process of meditation. So all these three become one. One who is meditating and on whom is meditating, and the process of meditation all become one into pure consciousness. That is the salt doll melting into the ocean. Now, how to prepare for meditation? Suppose we want to have a nice meditation. How to do that? The first thing is to have the true will, true desire that yes, I want to experience the meditation. That has to be there. I want to meditate because I know that meditation has a lot of rewards. So that has to be first, otherwise meditation will not come. Then if we want to have true desire to have meditation, then we have the discipline. Meditating is by the one instrument that we have, it is the mind. Mind is like the wild horse. It just wants to run hither and thither. It is never tried to control. But those wild horses, how they are trained to run in a particular way by the masters of those horses. So like that we have to ride on this mind and train this mind. You cannot go hither and thither, but you have to go as I wish. So we have to gradually train the mind in our every time dealing in the world, that you cannot do as you like. I have a control, I will have a control over you. So exerting our control over the mind to train it is another way in our everyday dealing. And if for that we have to observe the way our mind works. When we talk with others, when we behave with others, when we react with other things, how the mind is working. It is doing as I wish or it is doing something else. If it is doing something else other than I wish, then I have to train it. It cannot go that way. So training of the mind in our everyday dealing is another way. Then mind is wild horse, but Swami Vivekananda gave the example of a monkey. Mind is like a monkey. Monkey by itself is very restless. If you see the monkey, it can't sit at one place, it's always restless. And the mind is not just a monkey which is has been freely drunk with wine. So restless thing has become drunk with wine. It has become more restless. And that drunk monkey, which is already so much restless, is stung by a scorpion. When one is bitten by a scorpion, is so painful that person just jumps here and there. So monkey itself restless and drunk with wine more restless. Now is drunk with scorpion. You can imagine how restless that is. And over and above that, this scorpion stung drunken monkey has been possessed by a demon, by a ghost. Now this is the condition of that monkey, as Swami Vivekananda says, our mind is exactly that. Mind itself is like a monkey which is very restless. Now it is drunk with wine of what? Desire. We have innumerable desire, and every desire makes us jump from this place to that place. I want this, I want this. There is no end of want. So this makes mind more restless. And over that, the mind is stung by the scorpion of jealousy. So we see any good of others, then we feel so jealous. You cannot stand any success of other person, any achievement of other person. So it becomes jealous and mind becomes restless. And moreover, over that, it has become possessed by the demon of pride. So you are yourself think, oh, I am so great, I am this big, this person is not giving me right honor. So you are always complaining for not being given your proper honor because you are so proud of your whatever you have. You may have achievements, you may not have achievements. You don't need pride to have achievements. You may be proud of anything in the world. So even any small thing, small praise can just make you proud, and any pride makes us restless. Any jealousy makes us restless, and of course desires, how they torment us, we know that. So, in this condition of the mind, we need to, what we need to have that? To this instrument which will help us in meditation, it has to be purified. When mind is purified, it can be controlled. Only purified mind can be controlled. That's the one good thing. An impure mind is very difficult to control. So if we want to control the mind, we should have an attempt to purify it. So if mind is not pure, we may end up by concentrating on impurities. Another danger is, mind is not pure, we have achieved concentration. And then, still so many desires are there, so many evil thoughts are there, we sit for and we have achieved some degree of concentration. Now what will happen? Instead of concentrating on some divine form, we are going to concentrate on some evil ideas, evil thoughts, impure thoughts, and they become powerful. So, purity of mind is essential to have spiritual benefit of meditation, otherwise it may be even bad than not meditating at all. Attaining power of concentration without corresponding purity of heart will create a demon of us. You know the story of demons. They used to do tapasya, all austerities for, they say in the Shastra, they say they used to do for 1,000 years, they were just meditating with one leg, standing on one leg, meditating on Shiva. And when Shiva appears, they ask something, may I become immortal? They have a desire to become immortal and conquer everyone, finish everyone, rule the world. No spiritual thoughts. All worldly thoughts they were there. But they were be able to concentrate with that thought lingering with this impure mind in them. And with that concentration, God really comes. So whatever they want, it happens. And when Shiva comes, Shiva asks, what do you want? And instead of saying, give me purity of heart, give me your vision, I'm so satisfied, I'm so happy, may I always remember you, like Prahlada said, what do I want, Lord? I have seen you, I want nothing, I'm blessed, I'm full, I'm fulfilled, I'm whole now, I have seen you, I don't want anything. And when he was still asked to ask, he said, if you want to give me something, please grant me that love, constant love for you that worldly people have for worldly objects. People have lot of love, real, true love for worldly objects. Greedy person have for the wealth. Those who are attached to the family have for the relations. Those who are very possessed with their possessions, to their objects, car, house, this, that, dress, they're very, very possessed. So they really love that thing. Prahlada says, please grant, Lord, that I may love you as they love their things of possession. Worldly people love their possession. Please grant me, and may my heart be never separated from you. May my heart always flow to you. So this person got Shiva's vision, and he asked Shiva. Shiva said, "What do you want? I am pleased with your prayer to me and meditation on me. Mind impure." He said, "Lord, when I have seen you, whatever I touch, may that turn into ash." What is that? He wants to kill everyone, burn everyone? Shiva is Shiva. You see, when he is pleased, he doesn't know what to do. That's what the Ashutosa name comes. The Lord is so simple that he doesn't know what he is granting. He said, "Okay, you will have that." Now this impure fellow, now he wants to taste Shiva himself, whether the prayer he granted me is true or not. So he started touching the Shiva himself. "I'll put my hand on you and I will try to see whether you burn to ashes or not." That type of condition may come when our mind is impure and yet we have attained the concentration, and then again that impurities come in a very strong fold. Somehow Vishnu comes, the mythology says, somehow Vishnu comes and he saw that Shiva is in trouble and he comes to his rescue and comes in front of this Asura, Bhasmasura, and he says, "What are you doing?" So he says, "I want to taste Shiva, he has given me boon, I want to taste him whether if the boon is right or not, I want to taste upon himself." He said, "What are you doing? How can you taste him? Just to taste upon yourself, you have, Shiva has gone away, you can taste upon yourself in this fall." He puts his hand there on his head and he falls. So like that thing, you see, Bhasmasura's story is that. So this to have the purification of mind is very important for meditation, otherwise it will have negative effect. So to have the purification of mind, this prayer is important. First, how the purification of mind will come? Many processes. What is the prayer? "Lord, make me pure." As Swami Vivekananda said, just think yourself that you are pure. You are a children of Sri Ramakrishna who have conquered wealth and desires. You belong to them. You are connected to them. Just think that I am pure. Saying I am pure, you become pure. That's what auto-suggestion. By nature we are pure. Just we have to emphasize that purity, and impurity will fly away, run away, go away. So emphasizing purity is one way. Another is the prayer. "Lord," like one is that now I said the Prahlada's prayer. "Please grant me that devotion to you that worldly people have for worldly things." Or that one is "Nattoham kamayera." I don't want any kingdom, or I don't want heaven. I don't want even the mukti. Apurar bhavam. What do I want? May all be happy in the world. May all their afflictions be gone. Kamaye dukhatattanam praninam artinasanam. May all be peaceful and happy. Just have that large heartedness and feeling for all. That's wonderful prayer. This prayer makes you immediately connected with the whole world. And connecting with the whole world, feeling as the whole world as your own, makes mind pure. Pure mind feels oneness with all. Ultimate, our goal is to feel oneness, one with the existence. Beyond even universe, visible universe. The existence itself is one with me. That is ultimate goal. So the more we feel oneness with the greater people, the more our mind is pure. When we feel oneness with all afflicted, disease, suffering people, poor people, so that's what Swami Vivekananda said. He didn't say just remain in meditation and enjoy the bliss. What Swami Sri Ramakrishna said to him, you want to meditate and remain in that bliss? He's a small-minded person. I think you are I thought you were a large-hearted person. Be like a banyan tree. Exact same thing he said to his disciple Sadachandra Chakravarti. When you have attained this meditation, now breathe and remove the ignorance and suffering of others. So service and meditation go together. So prayer gives us very strong strength. So how to have this other ways to make mind pure is doing something for others. Selfless action. That is one way, even if we are not able to do prayer as sincerely as we should do, as focused as we do, but this selfless action for others is a great source of purifying mind. It can be done. We often do this. You see you volunteer and bring some food here, you cook food for the devotees, you come to the society, you speak nice words, you help somebody fall sick and you have to call them and so, I'm so sorry that you are sick, I pray for you. All this connection with feeling, that is selfless word, and that purified mind. The more we do for people, the more our mind gets purified. And when our mind is purified, but it has to be selfless, not with any other intention, not with, if I don't ask him, he will feel bad. Not with that. You really feel for the person who is sick, and you pray for that person, you call that person, you go and visit that person just to be with him and feeling an empathy for that person. That becomes selfless action. And this selfless action is one way by which our mind becomes pure. So we often do, we need to do more of that. Another thing that makes our mind pure is non-injury to others. Not in thought, word and deed. Often in deed we don't injure others. We don't violate, we don't do any harm to others. But often we do in speech, unknowingly or knowingly. He was saying something, I said him that thing. So this speech control, often we do while driving, you see. Driving, somebody drive bad. What he'll do, he doesn't know like that. Something comes out of your mouth. That is injuring person in your speech. And that has to be controlled to mind make pure. No injury even through speech. And more difficult is through mind. You may not speak something because someone is sitting beside you, but in your mind thought, I will show that person. And after you see in competition, someone does some, overtakes you, another person says, what is he doing? I will show you. That impurity. So let him do as he likes. He'll be at your own place. So that is not injuring, not competing. In this being equal in thought is that may we not accuse, demand or complain. That's wonderful prayer for having purity of mind. That needs to be practiced. Another thing that keeps our mind very pure is truthfulness. Being truthful in our speech, action. And whatever happened, we tell the truth. And what we say that we want to follow, we want to do that. Both these keep mind very pure. There's a very good thing for mental purity. Another mental purity happens through continence. Continence, the brahmacharya, practicing in purity of thought. Brahmacharya means thought, word and action. Action, everybody, there's no this thing. But in thought also, we need to have more of feeling of going beyond the sense of body and treating everyone as our own soul. That makes our practice of continence. And life also should be very orderly, and practice of cleanliness in body and mind, keeping the things in order, and having a regular lifestyle, regular routine in life. Getting up in time every day, whether it's Sunday or Saturday, doesn't matter, but you get in time, you have prayer in the morning, you cook. Every day keeping your routine, daily routine perfect, that is one way by which we can keep mind pure. Another way by which we can have the prepare for meditation is when we sit for meditation, then posture should be right posture. Otherwise, if you stoop, you can fall asleep. So trying to have erect body, head and neck in erect position. That is also important posture. Breathing is also helps in keeping the mind focused and concentrated. So when we sit for meditation, having deep breathing for some time, those who can practice pranayama can do practice pranayama, breathing for like few times and 4 times of that, 4 times of that retaining and 2 times of that exhaling, that is also done. But deep breathing when you sit for meditation, that helps in keeping mind calm and active. So, this lifestyle suited for good meditation has to be there. And when our life is in our daily jobs, our mind is filtered for many things other than the object of meditation, and then we come in the evening and sit for meditation and try our mind to focus there, it doesn't happen. So we have to have during our daily routine, a part of mind should flow in the object of meditation. That doesn't happen. When you work and think your whole mind goes there, that's also fine. But whenever there is a gap, let us try to remember the Ishta. So, like we have gaps in our work. So, remembering Ishta more often during our work helps in meditation when we sit in meditation in the evening or in the morning. So, that is also a very important thing. Remembering Ishta more often during our time. So, you drink water. That's how when you drink something or eat something, offering to God is a very good thing. So, it's a break and you are having a cup of coffee, just offer to God. Lord, have this. So, first you purify the food. More than that, you purify your own mind by thinking of your Ishta. Ishta comes there. You get up for going to washroom. Think of Ishta. Bow down to him. When you go to washroom, you say, come on, sit down before that. Think of Ishta. Like that, you can make your own routine. How many times I can bring my own Ishta, the form of God, thought of God in my daily work. It can be, the more we can bring the thought of God in our daily work, the more our meditation will be better. And when we sit, as I said, when we sit for meditation, we should sit with a resolve. I will have good meditation. Oh, I'm tired, I will go away. It may be, it may not be. Oh, the Guru said do 108 times, then we finish like that. Then there will be no good meditation. Somehow the 108 times will be done, you will fall asleep, will go away. No connection will be made, no benefit will be there. No, I will have good meditation. I want to have that. That will has to come. Without that, the first thing, to sit for meditation with a resolve that I am going to have. What are the days? Are there any special auspicious days that have helped in good meditation? In fact, any day is good for meditation. Any day. When we think of God, that becomes auspicious day. That's why while going out, we don't have to see almanac. Oh, what day is there today? You can go to the east or to west or not. Nothing that. Just say the name of Durga. Durga, 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 and it becomes auspicious. Automatically all hurdles are gone. Mother will protect my journey. That type of feeling. So in meditation also, when I sit for meditation and try to think of God, it is all good time, auspicious time, there is no doubt. Of course, there are days when we feel much better, like the birthdays of holy places, or like holy personalities, like the Sri Ramakrishna birthday, or Jesus' birthday, or any holy person's birthday. That is always an auspicious day. It has some effect, some special effect it does have. Whatever the auspicious time, they say Brahma Muhurta is very good. Brahma Muhurta is like 4 o'clock in the morning, that has been traditional. But for that, you have to sleep early. If you sleep at 12 o'clock or 1 a.m. Watching the movie and seeing all the things that world is producing, this thing happened, this start to sleep, you don't have a good sleep, dream of something going on there, somewhere compartment happening somewhere, something feeling, and you don't have good sleep and get up tired, and where 4 o'clock, you get up tired, 7 o'clock you get up, and where is Brahma Muhurta? Always all Brahma Muhurta gone in sleep. So we have to have regulated life and live like sleep 10 o'clock, like that has to be priority in life. My spiritual life is my priority. The life is ending. The death is coming. When will I have spirituality if I don't have now? So I must regulate my life, think of God and go to sleep, have a nice sleep, and sleep breaks like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. That is the freshest time. If you have good sleep at night, morning will be fresh. When you sit there, that becomes Brahma Muhurta for you. Brahman will be remembered. That becomes Brahma Muhurta, the auspicious moment when you think of God is the Brahma Muhurta. But with full attention, no tiredness, nothing else. Mind has to, all other thoughts have to be put aside. Only thought of God has to be there. Another way to have good meditation is group meditation. When we sit in meditation in a group, it is always somehow our mind is focused, it flows with the flow of other people. So in the good place like a temple, church, all these are good places for meditation. And we feel the vibration. Definitely there is help of the tanmatra, they say. Whatever is thought here in this hall doesn't go away when you go out. The thought remains and remains mingled with the things here. In the vibration it is there. That's called tanmatra. The thought particles are there. The good thought, if it is thought here, and that will be there. We have this story that one person with few children were playing and they were sitting on the ground, and suddenly one boy started giving very nice decision. Don't do that, do this, he is right, he is wrong. They thought, how he's sitting on a mound of ground, and how he's giving good decision. Later on they found it was the seat of Vikramaditya, the great ruler. So just he sat on there and Tanmatra was there. That's how the places have effect. The temples, churches, even we have to make our room like that. In our room, but at least in the corner, the seat we sit for meditation in room in front of the picture, whenever we sit, the thoughts come, the good thoughts come, all bad thoughts go away, and connection with the God starts coming. Then good tanmatras come, all feels with good vibration. So group meditation is always very helpful, and the places of prayer, like temples and churches and gurdwaras are always good if we go for the purpose of meditation. Now, how you visit that, it depends on that. You go into the temple just to see out of curiosity how the worship is going on, how many are the deities, and start saying, oh, they have made the museum of this temple, there are so many deities they have kept, they could have put one deity. So then it doesn't become prayer, meditative thing. You go there and feel the presence of divine and don't think of those things. When you start thinking of those, how many things are there, this is dirty, they should have put window there, and this priest is not good. All those things, if you do, you have missed the target. And it's like counting the leaves and branches of a mango and not eating the mango. People go to Benares and in the pilgrimage, and what they complain, oh, such a crowded city, so many rickshaws, so much dirty, bulls staying there, a temple, all this watery and rotten bale leaves. How they see that? But the spiritual person, he goes and feels Shiva there, he's been worshipped through thousands of years, we don't know how many years, all holy person, great person, Sri Ramakrishna, Shankaracharya, all great acharyas, they all came here, Shiva resides here. Those thoughts, and you enjoy the going to the pilgrimage, you become meditative, come back, and you become deep in meditation in the form of Shiva. So it depends on our outlook, purpose of visit to the temple. If we go, that's why people go to Vishwanath temple. After doing puja, there is a system. They sit in a corner near the door, main entrance, and they do japam, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. That's very good tradition there. Other temples, they just go and offer and then come back. But this meditating, that we can make a practice. Go to Dakshineshwar, offer flowers, and don't rush back home to eat kachuri and all those things. Sit in the Nath Mandir and do little japam of your Ishta mantra. That becomes very good. And when you stand in queue, just think of Mother, Divine Mother, Sri Ramakrishna worshipping. All those help in meditation. So how we carry this, it helps. In group meditation, when we sit for meditation, we should think, or are in very happy mood, or are meditating. That's also one auto-suggestion. It's in the scripture also is there. When you sit for the meditation, just think that whole world is meditating with you. The trees are meditating, the sun is meditating, the rivers are meditating, oceans are meditating. Everyone is one with me, all are meditating on the divine. So my mind, you also will focus and flow with that great environment, great vibration. Whole universe is meditating on the divine. If we have that sort of feeling when you are sitting, if we come and say, oh, that person is nodding, that is snoring. Even people can snore. And you say, oh, what is that? He came from meditation and he is snoring. What that person is, he should not that. We should think, oh, that person must be tired. Devotee of Thakur, devotee of God. That person, he has come here and he must not have good sleep or must be medical, some medicine, effect of some medicine. But he comes and tries to meditate. If you have that type of idea, you just feel, oh, that's also trying to meditation. Another person sitting, he is also trying to meditate. Let me also meditate. Let me also add to the tanmatra of this prayer hall. By my meditation, let me absorb and let me also add. That is the one beauty when we come and do group meditation in the temple. You just don't get the benefit of the purity and the holiness of the temple. You add there. Tirthi kurvanti tirthani. How the tirthas become, how the place becomes holy. It is by the people, by the tirthi, those who go to pilgrimage, they make it the place of pilgrimage by adding their own thoughts of God, by adding their own tanmatra, and it becomes charcha. When you say, oh, there, the God is awakened, there is one saying, Siddha, Jagrata is awakened. How the God becomes awakened? God becomes awakened by the devotees. devotees go, and so wherever there is awakening of God, there has to be some one great saint or great person, great sage who has meditated and God is awakened. Like we say, Dakshineshwar, mother is awakened. Sri Ramakrishna saw that Tanmatra has to be there. And that when we go, we absorb and also we add our thoughts. That's why they say, when you go to pilgrimage, never go with bad thoughts, never go with disturbed mind, because that will create, you will not benefit, that you are going to add something which is very pure place, you are going to add dirt there, and that other person may imbibe that. So take purity, take goodness, take divine thought and add to that place. And also you absorb whatever is there, you absorb. And when you go and come back with that, after doing little japam from the place of pilgrimage, from the temple in winter, then when you sit in the evening, your mind is already happy, peaceful. And when you sit in the meditation, that evening you will have good meditation. Oh, I don't know why I had good meditation today, but because you did that prayer when you had gone to place of worship. So this practice of meditation has to be brought in the gaps to be filled with the thought of God. The more we think, it influences, it goes and it saturates in our heart. And the difficult process of meditation, the monkey that is drunk with wine and stung by scorpion and possessed by ghost, that monkey becomes fully under our control. We said to that monkey, you sit here now for half an hour, you can think only this. Monkey says, okay, whatever you say, I will do that. We have to do that by the grace of Sri Ramakrishna, by the grace of divine. It is possible for us to do. Let us practice, let us begin. Thank you.